What's going on, true believers? Today, we got to talk about Floki because there's been some crazy things going on over the weekend. They had a call yesterday, and it was interesting. This is not financial advice, but I'm always right.
I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting sideways.
All right, guys, Floki's trading 16,048. That's up 60% through the weekend. And there was a moment where it went down to about 1,000. There were a lot of things that were going on over the weekend. So let's have a quick conversation. What is it that happened in the rocket ride that was Floki over the last couple of days? Well, it started, as all things do, with a girl. And that girl is Alexander Dreyfus. And he said, and by the way, for those of you that don't know, Alexander Dreyfus is a passionate net entrepreneur since 1995. Ooh, spooky. He's the CEO of FinTech and Sports and Chili's, which is the $CHZ and the Socios Network. Dad, dreamer, traveler, world citizen, and doer. And this chick said on the 9th, which is Thursday, I'm not a fan of real Floki Inu becoming a sponsor with a lot of football teams in many countries. An anonymous project trying to surf on the hype of others. None of the team managers have even spoken to anyone at Floki, only the agency. Not good for the industry, sports/crypto. Now, let me tell you where this comes from. This comes from a place of about a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, Chili's had made a few announcements that they were part of a couple of football teams, and their price was hovering, as it had been, for a period of time around 50, 60, 70 cents. And then there was a cascade of market correction, and now it's trading at about 30%, good for a 40% decline in its performance in the last 6 weeks. Conversely, Floki has started to enter into partnerships with all of these football teams for sponsorships, and this guy, for whatever reason, has decided that because he doesn't control whatever's going on, he doesn't really care. So he then said this. Saber came back at him, said, "Is defamation your middle name? I have spoken directly to teams. Feel free to DM me. I will educate you in my office if you fancy a visit. You should know the legal compliance and due diligence required if you do your own deals. An insult to your own partners. Poor form." So that led us to a small sell-off going into the 10th, which started to cascade down through the morning hours. And obviously now we're in a fight and a feud. And then something happened. Bonance came out with an all will be revealed next week. And it was just a picture of a boxer, a random boxer with no name, whose silhouette matched this picture of the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, who is an ambassador to Floki. And then a few minutes later, Bonance also points to a post where it puts dog on Bonance. And that comes, that's actually not even the time that it came, but it came right after that in the morning hours. So over Saturday night, I believe that was the 11th. Maybe it was the 12th. Who knows? Depending on where they are. Maybe that's China. Yeah. So sometime around the 11th in America and the 12th in China, pops up dog on Bonance, which leads to this giant cascade of up right here, because now everything just got very serious. And we see this giant rise all the way up to 20,556. Then we see that cascade of paper-handed chads. Then we see it goes back up to around 21,368. Then we get notice that there's going to be an AMA, and that was actually right around right here. When we get to the AMA, it turns out to be Saber's Real Talk, and he talks about what people have in expectations. And for those of you who were not there, Saber goes hard when he goes. And Saber went a little ham on a lot of people who were talking FUD to the community, or who were non-believers or in some way just not convinced that Floki was going to do anything or be anything. And that's just wrong. Because anybody who's been here for a number of time, and guys, you know me, I've covered this for a very long period of time, and Floki does it better than everybody else. There are other tokens that get their little pumps. They do have moments where they get to shine. I'm not saying that there's not other tokens that shine, but when you get down to brass tacks, if you go into a Floki Telegram, you are greeted with morning conversations, you're greeted with meetings, you're greeted with people letting you know exactly what's going on. Sure, there's FUD, just like any other chat. Sure, there's people who just absolutely don't understand crypto because they're noobs, and they found Floki because Floki is everywhere. But the point to that is, Floki is everywhere. Now, the market's in a correction right now, and Floki is still flying pretty high compared to, and when in doubt, zoom out. And let's go to 4-hour candles here, and you can see that Floki trending along this line, and these guys were feeling great about this, by the way. These guys were feeling great about this right here, and then this happened. And now we're feeling great about all of this. So, millionaires have been made through Floki. 100,000aires have been made through Floki. There's been life-changing money that's been made through Floki. And some of those people are with us, some of those people are not with us anymore. But what is important is this. Floki, you know what, matter of fact, let's get off on a rant here. Floki is the preeminent dog token that there is right now. Shiba has great things happening, and I give them all due credit. Dogecoin started it all for every single person and body around here. In 3 months, however, Floki has gone from nothing, a tweet from Elon Musk, to a total market cap of $1.4 billion right now. And if you don't think that that's not something huge, then you, my friend, are mistaken. Millionaires were made overnight. I've seen people taking out hundreds of Ethereum at a time on this product. These people, Saber, Dex, Mr. Brown Whale, all of the guys that are involved with this product, they have a vision. They know what they're doing. They have partnerships that they've reached into that now include partnerships with these football teams, a school on every continent. There are things that are happening in the Flokiverse that you have not seen anywhere. And then the biggest thing is utility. What better utility is there than now a video game that's coming out? Valhalla. If you're interested in Valhalla, there is an AMA. For those of you who don't know, ask me anything. There's an AMA for Valhalla in the Floki chat, and that's going to be going on today, which is why you see this price continuing to pump and continuing to pump, and you see these little dumps happen. But guess what? It doesn't stay that way for very long. The price keeps going back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Now, the market will correct, and it will go up, it will go down. The market will always have a correction. And you can see on this chart here that there was a very big up, followed by a cascade of sell-offs, a lot of people taking a lot of profit. And guess what? After it spiked all the way down to 1,400, it is now back up to 1,600. So guys, these things are happening. Floki is serious business. And if you don't believe me, put your money in and then ask your wallet in 6 months. Guys, that's my time. By all means, test Floki. Do your own research. Don't let somebody else tell you. I'm a moron. If I were any dumber, I'd be running a Joe Rogan podcast. Let's put it that way. But Floki, and again, do your own research. Floki is the future of the meme tokens. It's not even a meme token, I don't think, anymore. I don't even think it's fair to put it in that context anymore because of the number of utility and the amount of life-changing things that have been happening here. So, but we'll call it that for right now and say that right now, Floki is the king of the memes. And you can like Shiba, you can like Doge, but Floki's the one that's going to take you to Valhalla. That's my time. Guys, let's have a good day.
I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I want you to